My name is Jennifer Howard, and I'm from Calgary, and I was diagnosed in July of 2019 with IPAH. The day after I was diagnosed with my right heart catheter, I immediately went on to the IV medication Caripul. So I'm on a pump 24/7. So I complained to my family doctor, I'm breathless when I do stuff. And she's like, here's an inhaler. And I was like, great. And then I was like, it doesn't work. And she's like, try another inhaler. It doesn't work. And then New Year's Eve day, 2018, and I was walking to Walmart and I fainted. My thought process was, if I make it to that light, I will be okay because I can brace myself, catch my breath. But I passed out and some lovely people called the ambulance on me. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital because you're going to charge me $250 for me to be told I didn't eat enough food. But then they took a EKG and they're like, you're looking a little weird. You should see your family doctor. And so that took a couple of weeks. And then she's like, I'll send you for a stress test. Nothing happened with that. The cardiologist wasn't speedy. So about March, I finally got the stress test. And they're like, nothing's alarming. And then they were like, oh, we'll do an MRI. They're like, you'll hear from us in like 5 days. The next day, I get a call. Well, you have pulmonary hypertension. I'm like, what is pulmonary hypertension? They're like, we don't know. So we're both Googling at the same time. And I'm like, great, I'm dying because Dr. Google is not accurate. And then within a week, I was sent to the Calgary clinic. And within days, I had my right heart catheter and I was put on the pump. From the time I fainted until my diagnosis, it took 6 months. But before that, it was just years of my doctor saying, here, have an inhaler, because she didn't care, which is a sad thing to say, but she really didn't. And I even had the thought process before I was diagnosed was, I'm not going to see the end of the year, because I was just feeling crappy. The doctors here saved my life. Like, love my bump, keeps me alive. I didn't have a lot of process time because I went from meeting my then doctor on a Tuesday to having my right heart catheter on the Thursday to him saying, we need to immediately admit you. So by Friday morning, I had my new accessory. And like, I was kind of like numb to the situation. And then Sunday hit. We had this book to read about all our instructions. And I had read it, but I didn't process it. And so then I'm like, I'll read it again. And I just started to cry in the hospital. And like one of the nurses came in and she's like, now's not a good time. I only let myself have that one day of just, why me? But I couldn't let myself focus on that because I was like, I don't want to become my illness. I came out swinging and I tell my mom, I'm like, I never knew until I was diagnosed that I was a fighter because I'm not. I'm like the introvert. I'm the book nerd, like, oh no people. But I was just like, I'm coming out swinging. I took a lot of inspiration from my uncle who had a massive stroke and he had this cane and his physiotherapist is like, not that cane because it makes you look sick. So we're going to give you this cane. That kind of stuck with me once I was diagnosed. Like I spent a lot of time when I was in the hospital because I had nothing else to do for 2 months, shopping on Amazon for things that were like cute or pretty or things that just didn't make me look or feel sick. Because I was like, no. In the book, it said something about a cooler to carry your medication because the Caripul cassette needs to stay cold. You can't like just throw it in a bag and away you go. It needs to be kept cold. So that means ice packs or a cooler. And I was like, that's what really broke me. It's like, I don't want to walk around with a cooler. But I found like the baby bottles that you can use to keep baby bottles cold. And I was like, my ice packs fit in it perfectly. So I was like, I don't look sick. I have my pretty pink backpack that I just is my go bag. I really took inspiration from him because like his doctors had like no hope for him, but he and my aunt just kept fighting. And I was like, well, if he can fight to walk and talk, I can fight to breathe. So I just really used him as my barometer of doing the best I can. We all have bad days, but it's just not drowning in my bad days. Every day I get up and get dressed, even when I feel crappy, because I don't want to. Well, first of all, I have to because I have to change my cassette every day. But like if I were to stay in bed, because I'm a wallower, I would never get out of bed. Like I know my weaknesses. So I'm a little bit of a bummer. And so I was like, I can't wallow in my own personal weaknesses because I just want to keep going. Like I had 2 young nephews at the time. I was like, I'm not ready to say goodbye to my nephews, to my brother, to my mom, to all my friends. So I was like 46. So I was like, I'm not quite ready to go yet. And so I've kind of kept that mentality through everything. PH is not the same for everybody. None of our journeys is the same. And so I know I could say like, oh, I came out swinging, and somebody would be like, oh, I just don't have the energy to swing. And so I try not to judge how my journey has been based on theirs. Don't base your idea of swinging on my idea of swinging, because maybe yours is just waking up that day is your idea of fighting. I turned into a gamer girl. So I started gaming, and I'm terrible at Fortnite, but I have a lot of fun. I found people to game with, and it helps because it gives me a social aspect because I don't work. I'm on disability because of the side effects of this drug, and all my friends are working. But when I game, it's with people who I have a full-time mom who games, and so I get a social aspect I didn't have before. And it's fun. I'm terrible, but I have fun. I turned into a gamer girl in my 50s. It's funny because I never considered myself positive or even a fighter. And so that's what my illness has taught me, that I'm a fighter, that I am a far more positive than I was before. I think you need to find something that makes you happy. Not even like passionate or like, I'm not saying run out and write a book. If you can, that's awesome. But if that doesn't make you happy, don't do it. Like if numbers make you happy, find something that makes you happy. And it makes it easier to not dread every day thinking, I'm sick today, I'm sick today. And so some days it's just like, I'm headachy, I'm tired, I don't want to do it. So I don't do it. We have to also let ourselves be permission to have our bad days. So then we can kind of embrace the good days a little bit more. But just find something that brings a smile to your face and makes you forget for even 5 minutes, I'm a sick person. Because I think if it were me, if I were to spend so much time thinking I have a chronic illness that will probably kill me, I can't let myself think that way. And it's so weird because teenage me would have moped in this. I'm surprised at what this illness has taught me and what other people with this illness have taught me. Everybody facing any chronic illness, we're freaking amazing. The first time after I got on my pump and I started feeling better, I walked across that same spot I passed out on because I have to walk there every time I go to Walmart. I always look at it and I go, I see you. And I just keep going because I remember what it was like to be like, I'm on the ground and my pants are cold. And so in 5 years, there's so many changes happening with medications. I know we're all staring intently at sotatercept. We're all just kids waiting for Santa. That's how I get, and every question is about it. And so I'm hoping that drug or the next drug, and that one day I don't need the pump, and that nobody else needs a pump, that friends don't have to be on oxygen, that I don't have to lose more friends. And I just can't wait to see what comes down the pipe. But for me personally, I don't know. I hope I get better at Fortnite and I'm actually writing. But I don't know. I just keep swinging. My name is Jennifer Howard, and I am aware that I am rare.